Hey everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome to our next episode of Smackdown Live. Now, we are only a few days away from our first pay-per-view, of course, which is SummerSlam. And then we're only 2 weeks away, really. 2 and a bit weeks away from our second pay-per-view for Smackdown, which is going to be Backlash. So, there's not going to be a lot of build-up in between the first two pay-per-views, but I think we'll be able to put out a pretty decent good show. Of course, we need to make a 7-match card for Backlash, but we are going to have the finale of the Women's Championship Gold Rush Tournament. And we are going to have the finale of the Smackdown Live Tag Team Championship Tournament as well. So that's 2 matches. We'll make ourselves, obviously, we'll have an Intercontinental Championship match. We'll have a WWE Heavyweight Championship match as well. So I'm pretty sure we'll be able to put together a pretty good card for Backlash. But another Backlash, of course, first things first, as normal, we need to get through main event first. So let's have a quick look at the card we've got set for main event. So we're going to start things off with 2 matches from the Women's Championship Tournament. Now, Carmella is looking on great form. She's got 3 wins from 3 matches, and this evening she takes on probably the easiest person to face off against in this tournament. That is Eva Marie with 0 wins from 3 matches. So if Carmella wins this, she'll be on 4 from 4 and she'll be looking pretty damn strong. She'll be only 1 match left, and that is against Becky Lynch, who's currently on 3 from 3 as well. So that match between Becky Lynch and Carmella could end up being the decider to crown the first ever women's champion here on SmackDown. Match number 2 is going to be another match from the Women's Championship Gold Rush thingy-majig. And this match is a bit of a dead rubber, really, because both Naomi and Alexa Bliss have got 1 win from 3. If both Becky and Carmella were to lose, no, they can't win. Neither Naomi or Alexa can win the tournament now. So this is all just about trying to get yourselves higher in the rankings than the other ladies. And, of course, getting a little bit of momentum on the way as well. And our main event for main event... Yeah, I said that, yeah. Is Eric Rowan taking on Fandango, and Tyler Breeze will be in Fandango's corner. So let's sim these 3 matches. I can't even talk now. And Carmella, of course, does pick up the victory. She is now 4 from 4 in this Women's Gold Rush tournament. And she's looking in a very, very strong position. She could be our first women's champion here on SmackDown. In the second match, it is a win for Alexa Bliss, who is now 2 from 4. So she's looking pretty good. But of course, they've both only got 1 match left now, so she cannot get any higher marks than Carmella. And our main event for this one, a win for Fandango over Eric Rowan. That's a good one for Fandango. I must admit, Fandango is a good wrestler. He's just been tarnished with a terrible gimmick, really. That's his problem. But yeah, that's all for main event. Now let's have a quick look and see what our card is for SmackDown. And here we go straight into our episode of SmackDown. Now we start things off with a prelude to what we're going to see this Sunday at SummerSlam as Dolph Ziggler, the number 1 contender, takes on the champion Dean Ambrose one-on-one. Then we have the final match this week of the Women's Gold Rush Tournament. Becky Lynch really needs the win in this one to stay on track with Carmella. Carmella's on 4 out of 4 wins now. Becky Lynch is on 3 out of 3. If Becky does win this, believe it or not, and I've not rigged this, honestly, I promise you God, I've not rigged this. If Becky wins this, Becky will be on 4 out of 4, Carmella will be on 4 out of 4, and the last match is Becky versus Carmella. So that would be incredible. So I'm hoping Becky wins this one tonight, and then we've got a nice big match we can have at our Backlash pay-per-view in a couple of weeks' time. Then we have The Miz taking on Apollo Crews one-on-one. Again, a prelude for what's going to happen at SummerSlam when The Miz defends his Intercontinental Championship against Apollo Crews. Then we have our first semi-final for the Smackdown Live Tag Team Championship Tournament as the Ascension takes on Rhino and Heath Slater. And then our main event this evening is going to be Bray Wyatt taking on AJ Styles. Now I'm going to say right now, I've just decided just straight away that whoever wins this match between Bray Wyatt and AJ Styles will face off against the winner of Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler at Backlash for the Smackdown Live WWE World Heavyweight Championship. That's literally just popped into my head right now. So that's what we're going to do. And yeah. So I think we're going to skip the 2 rivalry matches in this one because they are the exact same match we're going to see in 2 days' time at SummerSlam anyway. So we'll skip Ziggler versus Ambrose. And Ziggler picked up the win. Momentum boost and double hot streak for Ziggler. Ambrose is on a cold streak. Ziggler could be the new champion if he plays his card right. And of course that is going to be this Sunday. And we'll also sim this one, The Miz versus Apollo Crews. And now Apollo Crews defeats The Miz as well. The championship rivalry is quickly becoming personal between The Miz and Apollo Crews as they continue to attack each other. Miz is on a cold streak and Apollo Crews is on a hot streak and a double hot streak and a momentum boost. So the way it's looking at the moment, we could end up with 2 brand new champions at SummerSlam for SmackDown, you know. Apollo Crews could be the IC champion, and Dolph Ziggler could be the World Heavyweight champion. But now let's get into our first of our 3 matches here this evening. And here is that first match. It is going to be Natalya taking on Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch needs to win this one to stay on top of Carmella. Natalya, doesn't matter what she does now, she can't win this one. All Natalya can do is stop Becky from winning. And here we go. We are in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So I'm learning a lot of my states from playing this game, I tell you. I hope I'm getting them all right as well. I'm assuming I am. So Natalya, like I said, she's only got 1 victory so far, and I'm going to assume that's when she defeated Eve Marie, and it is. Since then, she's actually lost to... Who she lost to? She lost to Naomi last week, which is a big loss for her. She lost to... No, she never. I'm getting my numbers mixed up. Last week... Okay, Natalya's number 5. Yeah, last week, Natalya lost to Naomi. The week before, Natalya defeated Eve Marie. And in the first week, Natalya lost to Carmella. So, interesting one. Natalya still has to face off against Alexa Bliss next week. Alexa's on 2 wins so far, so she's doing pretty well, actually. And here comes Becky Lynch. She, of course, has defeated Naomi. She's defeated Alexa Bliss. And she's defeated Eve Marie. She's got Natalya tonight. And then the last match is going to be against Carmella, of course. And like I said, I think we're going to do Carmella versus Becky Lynch at Backlash. The winner of that one will become the champion. It's all going to very much depend on what happens here this evening. If Becky Lynch does pull off the victory against Natalya, then that should mean Becky Lynch is going to be on 4 wins out of 4 as well, and that should give us a pretty exciting way to go into crowning our first women's champion on SmackDown. I'm looking forward to that now. I really want to get to this Backlash, because once we get to Backlash, it means that all the championships across the 2 rosters will have been handed out, of course, apart from the new Cruiserweight division we'll be bringing in pretty soon onto Raw. So it's Becky in control of this match to start off with, and of course I'm so happy to find out that Becky Lynch is going to be on 2K17 as an actual person rather than a created wrestler. I've had to download her in 2K14 and 2K15, and finally we're going to get the real thing for 2K... No? I had to download her in 2K15 and 2K16, and we're finally going to get the real one in 2K17, which is great. It's going to make it so much better for us because there's going to be so many less created wrestlers we have to download this year. If you think who we got this year, we've got American Alpha, we've got the Revival, we've got the 4 Horsewomen, we've got Asuka, we've got Nia Jax, we've got Alexa Bliss, we've got Carmella. All these people are on the game now. We've got AJ Styles. They're all on the game. Apollo Crews as well. And it's just going to be so much easier for us. Plus, it's going to make everything look a lot better as well, and hopefully a lot shorter loading screens. Big headbutt there by Becky Lynch. Now, I did be doing a bit more research on the whole Miz Daniel Bryan thing from a couple of weeks back, and it seems like they've decided against it now by the sounds of it. It was... See, the official line from WWE is it was supposed to happen, but it was an unscripted segment, and they think that the Miz went a little bit too deep, so they wanted to just sort of airbrush over the top of it and finish that feud as soon as possible. It was something that apparently was going to go on for a little bit longer, but they've decided now the whole idea is just to keep Daniel Bryan and The Miz apart from each other, and that will stop any problems. That's the idea that WWE have put in place instead. It's a bit of a shame because I thought the whole Miz thing was fantastic, and the thing that really made me think it wasn't scripted was the fact that Miz almost played as a face in that feud. There's a calf killer there by Becky Lynch. Yeah, he almost played as the face in that feud because he was going on about how he wrestles the way he does so that he can perform for the fans every single night and not be injured out for 9 months. So he sort of went more face in that. Of course, this week on SmackDown, or last week on SmackDown, sorry, I'm recording this a bit ahead of time. Last week on SmackDown, he did, of course, heel it back up. But I'm really impressed. I think that sort of promos are going to really help him out, as Becky Lynch already locking in the disarm her on Natalya. Of course, submission finishes don't necessarily work on this game, although we did have our first submission win in a very, very long time over on NXT a couple of days ago. If you've not seen it, then definitely go and check it out. It was a fantastic episode, actually. We had 4 matches on that episode of NXT, and NXT is a roster that I really enjoy in this game. It's so good. Of course, there's me going on about all the people we don't have to download, but of course we are going to have to download quite a lot of people still. We are going to have to download our Authors of Pain, Cien Almas, No Way Jose, Bobby Roode, Eric Young. Still quite a lot of people that will have to be downloaded. As Becky goes up high, what's she got planned here? Big diving elbow to the back of Natalya. That looks like a painful move, that one. Natalya brought back up to her feet, but playing possum and catches Becky in an arm breaker of her own. Head scissors by Natalya. A couple of elbows to the forehead of Becky Lynch as well. Natalya slamming the arm of Becky into the mat. Now rolls her over. Now Natalya is in control of this one. Like I said, if Natalya can pick up the victory here, it's not necessarily going to affect her chances too much, but it will stop Becky from... Well, no, Becky could still win it. Becky could still win it, but she'd have to beat Carmella and take it into a tie-break situation. Northern Light suplex there by Becky Lynch, now bringing Natalya back up to her feet. There's the Bexplex. Now that could be enough. That could be enough to finish Natalya off. There's the pin. 1, 2. Oh, it's only a 2 count. It is only a 2 count. And you probably hear by my voice, I'm not necessarily being very, what's the right phrase? Impartial on this one. I really want Becky to win this one, just because it will make for a good little match for Backlash. We need to build up that card as much as we can, and I'm thinking Becky Lynch versus Carmella for the vacated Women's Championship on Smackdown would be a great match. Becky now rolling Natalya over into the pin. 1, 2. Maybe the referee just headbutted Natalya there as he was counting. Big right hand there by Becky, caught Natalya right in the forehead. Becky probably needs to lock in another Bexplex. We probably need to change Becky's manoeuvres around, so the Bexplex is going to be a finisher manoeuvre and she doesn't use the disarmer anymore. It's just the submission finishes just don't work. I might have a little play around with that. I've got a bit of time now. I'm a bit ahead of my recording, so I might be able to play around, and I might just move some people's around. I might get rid of Sasha Banks' bank statement submission hold, get rid of Becky's disarmer, get rid of Samoa Joe's Coquina clutch, and just give them all the impact finishes so it's a bit more even, because that's the problem we've got at the moment. You sort of go into certain matches knowing that somebody's going to win because submission finishes just don't work. Suplex there by Natalya. Of course, in this match, both people have submission finishes. Unless Natalya's got an impact finisher I don't know about, but I know... Oh, she might have here. Actually, no, it's another submission. It's sort of a twist and an abdominal stretch, pulling the leg up as well. Natalya now pulling Becky into the middle of the ring, rolls her over. It's almost dead weight. Going for the pin. 1, 2. It's only a 2 count. Now, I did say earlier on that Natalya can't really achieve anything by winning this match because she's already out of the competition. But of course, the one thing she will achieve is a higher ranking in the final women's rankings. I will be changing that. So based on the final league table of this Women's Championship Gold Rush tournament, that will be the rankings for basically for contenders going for the belt. And of course we do have Nikki Bella on this roster now as well, so Nikki will be involved in that. I'm sure Nikki will force her way into that Women's Championship picture pretty quickly. However, there's a lot of very talented women on SmackDown now, which is probably a good thing for Nikki because I don't think she can wrestle too much anymore. She had that big injury and I don't think they're going to push her too hard. And Becky, for the third time in the match, locks in the disarm her And this is what I was saying, we need to get rid of these submission finishes because this match should have finished a long time ago now. Becky's hit a third finisher maneuver now on Natalya. Is it going to be enough to pick up the pinfall though? That's the question. She rolls Natalya over. 1, 2, and 3. Now come on, ref. Your hand hit the mat 3 times. We even heard it. Becky can't believe it, neither can I. That was a blatant win there for Becky Lynch. Headbutt to the back of the head of Natalya. Rolling Natalya over. Big knee to the face. Becky now, she needs to go for another Bexplex, really. Russian leg sweep by Natalya. It's only enough for a 2 count, though. Again, both ladies back up to their feet. Becky was a little bit laboured there, but she does get back in control of this match. There's the snapmare. Now locking in that reverse chin lock now on Natalya. Just slowing the pace of the match down. Trying to regain a little bit of energy. But Natalya's back up to her feet. A couple of elbows to the gut of Becky Lynch. And now again, Natalya hooks the leg, and there is that abdominal stretch once again. Is that Natalya's finisher maneuver? I didn't think it was. I don't know why, but I'm just feeling that Natalya's finisher maneuver should be a pile driver, you know? I don't know why, I just like that idea. Headbutt to the back of the head there, Becky Lynch on Natalya now, bringing Natalya back up to her feet. And now once again, going for that calf killer. Becky's really gone submission style in this match. Is it enough to get the submission though? She's already locked in 3 disarm hers. This is the 2nd or 3rd calf killer as well. But Natalya does break free. Yeah, like I said, I think I'm going to have to change these finisher maneuvers because this match could last forever because neither of these women have a... she's going to lock in the disarm her again, isn't she? Or is she going to go for a Bexplex? Go for the Bexplex. Nope, it's another disarm her. This is the 4th time, surely the damage must be done to the arm and Natalya must be close to tapping out here. Come on, ref. Why is she not tapping out? This submission system just does not work. There's the pin, it could be enough anyway. And again, ref, your hand hit the mat 3 times, my friend. We all heard your hand hit the mat 3 times then. Becky can't believe it now, pulling Natalya back up to her feet. Sending it into that far turnbuckle. What has Becky got planned here? Taking Natalya up onto that top turnbuckle. A high impact move could be enough to finish this one off. Natalya looking worried here, and she should be as she gets locked into the Frankensteiner. Becky now going up top, and I think Becky could win this one if she pins Natalya. But Becky's going to go up top and try and continue the assault. Diving elbow drop, and surely, go on, go for the pin. No, she didn't even go for the pin. She went to go for another move, and stupidity by the game, I think, most of the time. Natalya now butterfly suplex. I think Natalya is going to win this one just by the sheer fact that Becky just can't finish it off. If Becky hits 1 Bexplex, this match could be finished. But she just seems incapable of doing that. And there is... oh, look at that move. That is incredible. But of course, since it is a submission move, it's not going to work. Tell you what, when I was younger, I never used to appreciate technical wrestling and submission holds, but as I've got older, I really have, and that's why I'm a real big fan of Zack Sabre Jr., because he's just such a ring technician, and Jack Gallagher. I didn't really know much about Jack Gallagher, I must admit, but since he saw him on the Cruiserweight Classic, I was stunned about how good he actually was. And here we go, Becky now locking in her comeback sequence. This match has probably been the longest in this women's tournament, but it probably should be. 2 of the strongest women in the tournament. Go on, but just go for the pin, Becky. Her arms were out. She was down. Another calf killer. You're not going to get the submission victory, Becky. I know you're desperate for it. It just doesn't want to happen. This isn't a submission match, is it? Is it a submission match? No. People have gone for pins, haven't they? Yeah. Becky's going for a pin right now. Is that going to be all? It is all. There we go. And Becky Lynch is up now to equal 4 wins out of 4 with Carmella. And that means my dreams have come true. We're going to have ourselves a really good match at Backlash. Now, we're going to save it till Backlash. We've still got 1 week's worth of matches left. And we'll probably see the other 2 matches maybe next week on Smackdown. And then, of course, that big match of Becky Lynch versus Carmella for the Women's Championship on Smackdown will take place at the Backlash pay-per-view in 2.5 weeks' time. So by the end of Backlash, we will have crowned a brand new Women's Champion and a brand new Tag Team Champions for SmackDown Live. Really looking forward to that. We've got the belts downloaded, ready to go. They're held by Mr. and Mrs. Vacant, who, believe it or not, I actually had to download. So yeah, it was a pretty good match. I think we could probably skip through some of these highlights, to be brutally honest, because it's just the same moves over and over again, isn't it? It was a long enough match without sitting through the highlights as well. So great win there for Becky Lynch. She has now got 4 wins out of 4. Carmella has 4 wins out of 4. And of course we will be putting that up. It's probably already been on screen by now. So you've got the final... Well, it's not the final league table. We've got the league table. That's 4 matches played out of 5. We've got Becky and Carmella on 4 each. Alexa on 2. Natalya and Naomi on 1. And Eve Marie on 0. And here's our next match this evening. It is going to be the Ascension taking on Rhino and Heath Slater in the semi-finals of our Tag Team Championship tournament. And here we go. I always keep forgetting that when I press record on these videos, I need to have everything ready to go. I pressed record on this video earlier on, and I must admit I regretted it instantly because I was so thirsty. But I have managed to get myself a drink during that loading screen. I was very, very quick. And here are the Ascension, a tag team that I very much like. And I'm a little bit disappointed of not how they've been treated as such, but how they've been used on the main roster. I think they have a lot of potential. The crowd rejected them initially, which is a real shame. But at the same time, I think I think they should be utilised better. I think the crowd rejected them, but that's only because for some reason they decided to slightly change the gimmick when they brought them on the main roster, which makes no sense really. I never understood the whole fact of building a gimmick and everything for yourself on NXT and then coming up to the main roster. You've been working that gimmick for so long now. You've perfected it exactly how it should be done, and then all of a sudden they turn around and go, "No, we want you to do this, this, and this instead. We want you to talk on the mic and disrespect legendary tag teams. That's what we want you to do." So yeah, it's a little bit annoying, but I think they could be utilised very well as a strong heel tag team, just dominating the tag team division. And then see the likes of a American Alpha come in against the odds and defeat them. Now, I think that would work quite well for the Ascension. But evidently what I've got in mind and what WWE have in mind for certain things is not necessarily the same. And so Rhino and Heath Slater sort of breezed through the first round when they defeated the Headbangers last week. And the Ascension defeated Breezango. So both these teams had a relatively simple first round. So that's going to be pretty good for them. They're not going to be too sort of tired out from that first round, I suppose. But now this is their first chance to get a real sort of test. Now it's interesting because I think the Ascension are probably on average the more level tag team. However, Rhino and Heath Slater have the strongest member of the match in Rhino. I think Rhino is the highest rated in the match by quite a few points. But obviously Heath Slater is the lowest rated in the match by quite a few points. So it's worked out pretty well on average to be quite an even match, really. But probably Heath Slater and Rhino could do with keeping Rhino in the ring for as long as possible. Whereas the Ascension could do with keeping Heath Slater in the ring for as long as possible. Although Heath spent Connor over the top rope. And I quite like the fact that the Ascension are on the game because they've got quite a good look to them. They've got a really good entrance, and even the championship, they've got their own championship celebration as well, and championship entrance. So if we get a chance to see them with the championships, that'd be fantastic. Of course, I've used them in the past with with the Undertaker in making our own ministry, and I think they work out quite well in this extra ministry. I think it'd be a pretty good team for Bray Wyatt to take control of. I don't know if they'll put Bray Wyatt with anyone. I think the Wyatt family actually were a fantastic group, and it annoys me the fact this is the second time they split them up in the case of like 2 or 3 years. Are they going to put them back together again when Luke Harper returns? I'm assuming Harper's going to go to SmackDown because it only makes sense to bolster the SmackDown roster up a little bit. You know what I'd like to see is when Luke Harper comes back and he feuds against Bray Wyatt. That'd be pretty interesting. Because I think Luke Harper is a genuinely very, very good wrestler. And I think WWE knew that because they even gave Harper a singles run for the Intercontinental Championship, didn't they? And I'm hoping when he comes back from his injury, they do the same sort of thing again. He really is one of the most talented big men I think I've ever seen. Running our big right hands and a boot to the gut of Victor. Victor taking Rhino up onto his shoulders, and Victor eyes on the announce table. I think he might have been trying to put Rhino through it then, but Rhino does break free, and now Victor bounces head first off the announce table, and Victor comes back with that jawbreaker. Now, I'm not quite sure how long this whole Heath Slater gimmick's going to end. I can't imagine that they're going to let Heath Slater Rhino win the tag team championships. So I can only imagine that Heath's not going to get his contract, but I wonder whether Shane and Daniel Bryan might end up just cracking and just giving Heath the contract. I think that would make sense. Rhino trying to tag in Heath Slater, but the referee just insisting on getting in the way there. Heath does make it into the ring now, though. And now Connor straight away taking advantage of that. Sending Heath to the outside. Connor now bringing Heath back up to his feet and sends him straight into the ring steps. Referee's up to a 2 count again. Connor sending Heath Slater into the ring steps. Connor now wrenching back on Heath. Heath looks in pain there. And Connor sends him face first into the matting on the outside as well. Heath now sending Connor straight into the barricade and head first off the barricade as well. And both guys slide back into the ring as the referee gets to a 6 count. Connor though sending Heath Slater off that far rope and straight into a big boot. That could knock a man like Heath Slater clean out. And now, head first into the mat as well. Connor big boots the back of the leg of Heath Slater as well, by bringing him back up to his feet. And the Ascension seemed able to dominate Heath Slater. As I'm saying that, Heath sending Connor into the ropes, and now tag team maneuver here by these two. Double back elbows. And the teamwork of Heath Slater and Rhino working quite well. Slater? Who's Slater? Slater taking Victor out there as Rhino went for the pin. And I tell you what, it's just great tag team work here by Rhino and Heath Slater. They look like they've been tagging together for years. Rhino now bringing Connor back up to his feet. We've seen this before. This is how they took the headbangers out. That spinning cutter. In for the pin goes Rhino. This could be enough. 1, 2. No, Connor kicked out. Well, that surprised me a bit. I'll have to get rid of that move as well because I like gore. I like the gore, and Rhino's yet to use it because he keeps using that spinning cutter. Sit out Michinoku driver. Oh, maybe this is the gore. It's going to be a very short run-up for Rhino in this one, I must admit. It's literally just going to be diving. There he is. There's the gore. But he's very, very close to Victor, and I think the ring positioning is going to affect him here. He does pull him away from the ropes, but still I think the ring positioning is not going to help him out. Can Heath Slater get across the ring quickly enough? No, he just can't get there in time, and Victor does break it up after the 2 count. Big kick there. He went to go for the kick to the back, but I think Connor almost turned around and took it in the chest instead. Running a kick into the chest of Connor. Back up to his feet. I'll tell you what, this episode's been a bit longer than normal, hasn't it? I think it's that women's match. It took such a long time to get to the end of that one. Rhino now. Oh, lawn dart into the middle rope there on Connor. Rhino once again pulling Connor away. Well, put him towards the ropes. Actually going to utilise the ropes to his advantage. Heath Slater sending Victor over the top rope. And Rhino wins it. He used the middle ropes to his advantage, but Rhino and Heath Slater are into the final. Wow, I don't remember the last time I actually saw somebody using the ropes to his advantage actually work. And Heath Slater coming in and sending Victor over the top rope was fantastic. It all worked so well. I'm happy with that finish to the match. I really am. This is the spinning cutter here by Rhino. I thought this could have been all. This is how they got rid of the headbangers last week. Rhino dropping into the pin. It was not enough. That was only enough for a 2 count. I thought that was his finisher, but evidently that must be his signature maneuver because straight after he caught Connor with this gore. A very short run-up gore, but it's still hit with some force. Pulled him into the middle of the ring, but Victor was in quickly enough to break it up. Heath tried to get across, just could not get there in time. And here's that sit out. Oh no, there's the lawn dart, sorry. Not the most impactful of moves, but with everything else that had already been hit by Rhino and using the ropes to his unfair advantage, you see Heath Slater in, sending Victor over the top rope to the outside, and that allowed Rhino to pick up the free count. How the referee did not see Rhino's feet on the ropes, we would never know. But Heath Slater and Rhino are in the finals. Heath Slater and Rhino are going to Backlash to face off against the winners of American Alpha and the Hype Bros, which will be on next week's episode, to fight it out for the first ever Smackdown Tag Team Championships. I don't think Heath Slater saw that coming. I don't think I saw that coming, tell the truth. And here is our main event this evening. This is going to be the #1 contendership match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. The winner of this match will go on to face off against the winner of Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler at Backlash in 2 and a bit weeks' time. And here we go. Bray Wyatt. I'm really looking forward to 2K17. I'm just, as I say that, a little video just popped up. I think IGN have just released a little bit of gameplay footage between Charlotte and Sasha Banks. And I must admit, the match looks a lot more... It looks a bit more realistic. Everyone moves a little bit more realistically. I'm just hoping the submission system works. But what they've released is Sasha Banks versus Charlotte. So maybe we might see a bit of submission system in action. No, we don't. No. Okay. Still, that's a pretty good. I like that. I think the little bits of gameplay they have released do look quite promising. So hopefully we're going to have a really good game on our hands. A game that's going to keep everyone entertained for another year. Keep the channel growing, of course. That's what we want to see. And of course, there will be a lot of stuff being uploaded on this channel on the release day of 2K17. We're getting hyped for it now. It's only about a month and a half away, about 5-6 weeks away. I have got it pre-ordered as the NXT version, which means we'll be getting Apollo Crews, we'll be getting Nia Jax, and we will be getting Shinsuke Nakamura on release day, which is fantastic. I actually paid the whole money just to get Shinsuke Nakamura on release day. That's how serious I am about this. So yeah, expect a lot of Shinsuke Nakamura on release day. We'll be knocking out quite a few random matches to kick things off, and we will get straight into a universe mode as well. I want to have a play through that. Yeah, but just looking at the little gameplay, I suggest you keep an eye out for it on stuff like IGN. IGN did all the releases, all the roster reveals for 2K17, so it's definitely worth a look at. And yeah, there's this little bit of gameplay between Sasha Banks and Charlotte. It's the first bit of gameplay I've seen actually in ring. Obviously, we've seen the backstage brawl gameplay, which looked alright. But Sasha Banks and Charlotte in the ring, you could see they were very different. I think it's just so nice to have the real versions of them on the game because their taunts are correct, the way they move in the ring are correct, their moves are correct, and also, of course, they would have added the correct moves as well. And hopefully, like I said, they fixed the submission system where AI versus AI will actually work. But, of course, even normal submission system hasn't necessarily worked so well because I tried doing the My Career mode a few times and I really struggled. I'm not very good at playing this game. I've simmed nearly every single match I've done on this. I did try and record some My Career mode on the game, but I failed tremendously. So hopefully next year I can try to do a little bit better because I would like to have a go at My Career mode. As I never really touched it before, and it's a sort of mode that I like the sound of, so that'd be pretty good. But I obviously need to get good at the game first. And of course AJ Styles will be on the game as well, so we might be able to have this match real in 2K17. Get that uploaded as a random match for you as well. And when it gets closer to the time, I will be asking for your guys' suggestions for random matches anyway. I've got quite a few in mind that I want to do myself. I want to try and focus on the new people first anyway. And then of course it will just go off on a tangent and do anything really. Because I didn't realise, till I was scanning through it a few days ago, I didn't realise that the random matches is what gets me the most views on this channel. One of the random matches we did beforehand was Kalisto versus Neville. And that's got like 16,000 views, which is immense. That's like a fifth of my entire views as a channel. Just comes off that one video, and I've got 600 videos on this channel. AJ Styles raining down the stomps now on Bray Wyatt, now sending Wyatt over the top rope. I'll tell you what, my favourite moment from SummerSlam, just to go back a few weeks in the past. My favourite moment from SummerSlam was when Gallows, Anderson, AJ Styles and Finn Balor were all together backstage. That was incredible. It really was, and it was a nice little nod by the WWE saying, look, this is what we could do, but we're not going to. I don't know if they might align Finn Balor with Gallows and Anderson in the long run. Maybe if they want to send Finn Balor heel. But I think for the moment, there's no reason. Well, they're not going to turn him heel now. He's injured for the next 6 to 9 months, they reckon. So there's no point in doing it now. But if they want to utilise it in the future, it's there. But I think they've got a lot of heels on Raw anyway. But just having real over faces is going to be the difficult thing they've got. I think Seth's going to be a massive face if they do finish off the turn with him. Sami Zayn's a big face as well. I think Kevin Owens would be an incredible face if they turned him, but he's also an incredible heel, so it's a tricky situation for the WWE, that one. Roman Reigns, it's just, if they just turn him heel, it would just work. The fact that they're trying to push him as a face all the time, if they just made him an out-and-out heel, it would work. So I don't know why they just don't do it. They sort of, every time they try and push him hard as a face again, they shoot themselves in the foot. Just push him as a heel, everyone will hate him, and then if he does turn again in the future, it might work again. Who knows? Bray with a pin. Only a 1 count. So of course AJ Styles is the #1 contender in real life to face off against Dean Ambrose at Backlash. And I wouldn't be surprised if AJ Styles does take the belt away. I think it's going to happen sooner or later. I'm sure it'll happen sooner or later. And they might have even said to AJ, look, come into WWE and within 12 months we'll give you the championship. I think that might have happened. But yeah, I do like Dean Ambrose. But for me, I just think AJ Styles would be a fantastic champion. But I don't know if they would make... Well, I was going to say I don't know if they'd make that change at a small pay-per-view like Backlash. But at the same time, it's going to be the first pay-per-view of the new era dedicated to just one brand. So making that championship change could be a great way to lock it in the history books forever. Can you imagine the first ever sole pay-per-view for one brand in the new era, and the first ever championship reign in WWE for AJ Styles being the same show? We're going to have the first SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the first SmackDown's Women Champion, all crowned at this one pay-per-view. It's going to be an amazing pay-per-view, actually. It's going to go down the record books on quite a few different levels. And of course it's going to go down the record books for us as well. But which one of these two guys will be main eventing that pay-per-view? And who will they be facing as well? It really is all out there at the moment. Of course, Dean Ambrose has to face off against Dolph Ziggler this Sunday at SummerSlam. However, Ziggler picked up a big victory this evening over Dean Ambrose, one-on-one. So it's an interesting one. Ziggler has the momentum going into it. Although Ambrose is rated higher, Ziggler has the momentum, and that's a big thing on this game, momentum. We'll see just how big of a thing it is at SummerSlam, I suppose. Although I think no matter what happens, I think all combinations of these four would make fantastic matches. Ambrose versus AJ Styles, Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt, Ziggler versus AJ Styles, Ziggler versus Wyatt. It could all work. Referee's up to a 7 count and Bray's still laying on his back. AJ could win this by count out. Referee's really being lenient here for Bray Wyatt. He probably should have counted him out by now. But he's allowed Bray to get back up to his feet and slide back in the ring. AJ's not overly impressed by that. And takes Wyatt up on his shoulders. There's the big gutbuster. AJ now heading up to the top rope. What's he got planned here? Maybe a 450? Maybe a Phoenix Splash? It's going to be a 450. He hits it perfectly. In for the pin as well. 1, 2. Oh, and it's not enough to pull it off though. AJ can't believe it. He thought he had the match won there. The problem is, I believe AJ used one of his finisher maneuvers to hit that DDT on the apron earlier on. Which means I don't think he has the Styles Clash in the locker. Bray with a knee to the face though. Bray may just have himself a Sister Abigail in the locker ready to go. Stamping on the face of AJ Styles. Vicious moves here. But that's what you've come to expect from a guy like Bray Wyatt now. Bray spinning AJ round. Saito suplex. Bray stamping in the gut of AJ Styles. And just twisting the head now as well. Wrenching that head. Oh, that looks painful, that does. I wouldn't want to be involved in that. Bray now taking AJ Styles up and just dropping him. Doesn't even go to the effort of coming down in a suplex of his own. And now the end could be near. Bray crabbing it up, freaking people out. Tell you what, I like this. I like Bray's setup for his finisher maneuver. That's such a cool little sequence of maneuvers. Just everything about that works so well. And it's got him to... No. I was about to say it's going to make him main event Backlash, but AJ Styles kicks out after 2. Bray Wyatt can't believe it. He drops down to a knee himself. Both guys now back up to their feet. And AJ Styles straight away rolling. Bray Wyatt up into the calf crusher. Formerly known as the calf killer as well. But I don't think WWE want to mention murder. There's the pin by AJ Styles. 1, 2. Oh, almost a 3 count again. Both these guys really showing their desire to go all the way in this one. And main event Backlash in a couple of weeks' time. AJ taking Bray down with that arm drag. Now getting around the back of him. German suplex folding Bray Wyatt in half. I'll tell you what, I've been sat here recording for the last 6 hours, all different things. And I've just realised how numb my bum's gone. It bloody hurts. I'm going to go to bed in a minute as well. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. I need to go to bed. I don't know why I've done it tonight. I've just decided to record absolutely tons of stuff. I'm just in that mood. Sometimes I get home from work and I just can't be bothered to do anything. I end up just sitting there watching telly for a few hours. Sometimes I come back and I just absolutely binge the recordings. And binging is what has been on the cards for this evening. There's that back senton by Bray Wyatt. Drop it into the pin. Now that could be all. And it is all. Bray Wyatt is going on to Backlash. And I must admit, I was not expecting that. I thought AJ Styles had this one won. AJ Styles is ranked higher than Bray Wyatt on this game. So Bray Wyatt will be a main event in Backlash. He'll be facing off against the winner of the Dolph Ziggler-Dean Ambrose match this Sunday at SummerSlam. So he's going to be sat backstage keeping a real eye on that one. And we'll have to find something for AJ Styles to do now as well. I'm sure we can do some sort of match at Backlash for AJ Styles. Maybe just like a special attraction match. We won't have any sort of build-up for it, but maybe an AJ Styles versus Randy Orton possibly, or an AJ Styles versus John Cena. We do have Cena and Orton both on this roster. Maybe we could do like a Cena versus Orton match, and we can do a Styles versus somebody else. We'll play it out. Maybe Styles can face off against the loser of Dean Ambrose versus Ziggler. I think that's probably what's going to end up happening on SmackDown. We're going to end up with our... Because of course we don't really have any feuds because we don't have time. There's only 2 weeks gap between the two shows, so we won't have any time to build any proper feuds. So we'll actually have of course the World Heavyweight Championship, the Women's Championship, the Tag Team Championship, and the Intercontinental Championship. That's 4 matches already. It's just a case of filling in the other 3, I suppose. But there we go, Bray Wyatt is the #1 contender for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. He'll be facing off against the winner of either Dean Ambrose or Dolph Ziggler at Backlash in 3 weeks' time. And that's going to be a very interesting match. And it really puts an extra spin on this match this Sunday at SummerSlam as well. Of course, that is our next episode on this channel, so be sure to keep an eye out for that. It's going to be a top show. It's going to be shared between Raw and SmackDown. It's going to be very similar to what it was in real life, and then after SummerSlam, we are going to push off and make our few little differences, our few little changes, and go off in the directions that we want to go in. But anyway, that is the end of this episode, as you probably guessed, because I'm blabbing on. Of course, if you have enjoyed it, then please do hit that like button. It does really help me out. And of course, if you are new around here, please hit that subscribe button as well to join us for all of our 2K16 and eventually 2K17 fun. I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all very, very soon for our SummerSlam pay-per-view.